Hey, Steven, can you check that on your phone?
Yes, Twitch.
Yeah.
Let me go mute on here real quick.
I hear audio and fine in there.
I'm not hearing any audio on my check, though. Are you hearing anything, Steven? Oh, okay. We're good. Something up with my phone then. Whew. Hello, viewers. Hi, and welcome back to Castles in the Air. I know it's been a minute. Life sometimes gets crazy, and that was kind of what happened here, but we are back. I am your host of the story told, Logan, and I'll transition this over to Neko in just a moment. We are proud members of the D20 Radio Network, as well as being partnered with Fool's Moon Entertainment. Additionally, we are affiliated with Fanroll Dice by Metallic Dice Games. Enter the code StoryTold10 to receive 10% off your order. And with that, Neko, take it away.
Hello, everyone. We're going to be doing a shorter session today because my work got my schedule wrong. But we're going to try and get some stuff done in the passage of time. Um, so, the plan for this um, everyone has to do a scene and a vignette um, for something that happened over the 10 years of the passage of time. The exact for our players, you can find the exact list of your options for that in our rules and play references tab. And for viewers, that should become clear as we're doing it. Um, and you also have the opportunity to write up to 3 letters. Those are optional and they're not like the only letters you would have sent during that time. They're just supposed to be kind of like representative of did you keep in touch with your friends or not, sort of thing. Um, and so with that, does anyone know what is anyone ready to do a scene or a vignette or a letter?
Well, I've already got one, and Leroy has written it to Hawk, like, at least,
Mhm.
well, at the age of 17, of 3 months into sea.
Okay, go ahead.
Dear Hawk, I've arrived in Italy at the Mediterranean Sea with Captain Jonas. It was a tough landing for me, but it feels like I've belonged on this ship for a while. The Dons here all talk about independence thanks to being free from the French that ruled over them. I think they're a kingdom now, and it's really different from Canada, which has a bunch of provinces, including Prince Edward Island. Well, not that, well, they're both separate countries or anything like that. But I hope to write to you again soon when I get the chance to have a break from being seasick. Love, Leroy.
Thank you.
Leroy is adorable. I hope he doesn't become a hardened naval person. I will read it because I know we had like issues from the last session that I did send some like a series of letters to Orin, and if this was the first Tita game where we had 24-hour Stellaris Nekano, it would be literal letters I would send. um, but like the summary of it's just like because my character pretty much stayed home um as she's taking care of her siblings and all that. It's just like was constantly giving like little updates here and there and everything, and just kind of stating that they kind of miss um going into shenanigans with Orin and such, and that they hope that they're having a really fun time where they're at. And um I think I requested like something like a souvenir or something whenever you get back. So yeah, so it's letters over the course of like definitely the first few years that you're gone.
You're fine. Yeah, yeah, I'm just thinking.
So I didn't really say where my character goes. I'm sorry. I'm like I said, I kind of don't remember the stuff that well. What? So am I talking about where I'm going and then writing a letter? Because I don't even think we decided what I was doing during the time break.
Yeah, it's up to you to decide what you're doing. And
Oh, okay.
you don't need to write letters unless you want to. What you do need to do
Okay.
is do a scene and a vignette. They're on the rules and play references tab in the childhood cycle of play in the passage of time section. There's the scene and vignette options that you can look at. Um,
Thank you.
and so just give a thought to what you would like to do there.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
And just to clarify, Neko, your character is also is not like leaving, right?
Yeah, they're staying.
Okay. Yeah. So I think the only the two of us stayed. Um,
Do you have our bosom enemies written down? So like,
Yeah,
Yes.
it's in the characters tab. Just scroll down a little bit in your column.
oh, all right.
That's where yours is overindulgent, Stephen.
Mhm.
Yeah, thanks. I hate having brain fog. Sorry,
No, you're all good, my
it's
friend.
very frustrating.
So I think I'm gonna do my vignette for Hawk, which is what Fletch is going by as an adult. Um, they're no longer a fledgling. So I think that we this is going to be a day vignette, which is a vignette about the busyness of like day to day life. So I think we just um, see them like at the store working on the ledgers, um, having a discussion with their mother about what if we brought this product in. I think it could be a big, hit for the store, could sell well. We also see them at uh, Leroy's dad's apple farm where they have been working to kind of make up for the fact that Leroy isn't around right now. And also because I think they're kind of a workaholic. So uh, just um, I think a lot of it is like a thing where like if someone wants to hang out with them and the other person invites them, they'll say yes, but like they're probably not initiating things on their own because they're just like work, 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 busy, busy, busy. And that's kind of the vibes of the whole scene.
Is this a full decade at this point, or is this sometime in between, Neko?
Um, I think it's just different scenes throughout that
Okay.
decade.
Okay.
Um, Probably getting more busy as the years go on rather than less.
Sure.
Because their mom can no longer be like, no, you have to go do your homework. So like, I think their mom is trying to help with work life balance, but it's a lot harder when your child is an adult to do that. So,
Sure. Who all can you do scenes with? Because Oren would have been gone for 10 years, so it's like
um,
Diana
yeah,
or Fizz.
Yeah, technically, this was established in the Fashion House games. Uh, you there is telephone. You can
Oh,
do intercontinental. It would be very expensive, but you could do an intercontinental telephone call. Like, um, obviously, we'd have to
Or
go to a main city to do that, not our town, probably.
or like if you just want to do like if your character is away and you want to do like you don't want to do like the seed of them leaving or whatever, you can just like create a, a character for them to interact with that someone will just play for the
Mm.
scene,
oh,
and this
okay.
doesn't person doesn't have to later become a connection
Got
unless
it.
you want them to. It just the idea of seeing what they've been up to, what are and how is this time like changing them, sort of thing.
Okay.
But you did actually do your scene with your grandmother
That's right. That's right.
last
Yes, I
time,
did. Yes, I
so
did.
you're good for that.
Perfect.
You
Yeah,
just have a vignette and
vignette.
up to two more letters.
Okay. Then okay. So then Oren's vignette is boarding school and then college and making friends, more adult relationships, understanding the importance of his role in his in their family. Uh, Probably coming back to town quietly and briefly for grandmother's illness, maybe death. I haven't quite decided yet. The whole arc for Oren is taking up the mantle of the family. So periods of mourning and what that means as society is shifting and those social mores change, and really setting aside maybe too soon their inquisitive and childlike sense of adventure, and becoming way more serious than you would have ever thought possible for Oren. Um, but still undercurrent of all that, making these impulsive decisions. Like it's very impulsive. Like, oh, grandmother's dead. I must be serious. I must take the family seriously. I have to do it her way. And like holding on to that stronger than they really should. And so it's just this. It's just this year, 10 years and decade of Oren being and becoming their grandmother rather than their own unique self.
If you want to pause real quick, I know we had overt grief or on-screen family death in our lines. Is that going to be okay, Diana, or does that come?
Yeah, that's fine. Like because it's
Okay,
technically backstory.
so
It's
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to play. I
so it
definitely don't want
happens.
to play
We're
that.
not lingering on it.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Good. Right.
we
Just wanted to
appreciate
make
that.
sure that that was cool
Yeah,
with
no,
everyone.
yeah, that's a good
Absolutely.
story beat to have and everything. Makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm going to do kind of a mix of like I'm doing my vignette. I haven't done my scene yet, but the vignette's kind of like a inspired by the weather and Lulud a little bit. Of um of the Dusk one, it's inspired a little bit by that one, which is things will never be. I think again, as we're kind of doing the whole like over the decade kind of thing, is that um remind my own name. Sorry, 1 second. Maria, Maria Renata. Um, it kind of leans into their self-sacrificing bosom enemy of just doing everything um, for the family, not obviously not leaving. The only solace she kind of gets is like leaning into her tia like whole like occultism thing, but also becoming friends with because we don't often utilize the town facts, which are very fun. She actually becomes friends with Astrid, the local witch. And I think
Yes.
like the only aspect that Maria like is kind of selfish about is like kind of like by daytime she is the perfect immigrant daughter of merchants and everything doing everything, and by nighttime she's becoming this persona of like this witchy occult person, going a little bit more extreme than even her tia goes. Um, and kind of leaning into the fact that she liked theatrics. Like that's why her and Theo got along so well. And all that. And so that's her only bit of like fun or whimsy. She does believe in a lot of it because Latino culture, we do believe in it, but she does also lean on the fact that people want to be entertained, and it's the only time she feels she can be seen. So it's a course of that, of this mix of like she's not enjoying her life, she's sacrificing for her family, but she has at least this, and there's at least something like that. Um, so yeah, so she has that to cling on to, knowing it might not the fad of like spiritualism. Obviously, we're too early for actual spiritualism fad going on, but a
Oh
version
no,
of it.
we are
Are we
very much in spiritualism territory. Like the
okay?
thing that really kickstarted it in the U.S. was a lot of people dealing with grief after the Civil War.
Ah, yeah. So leaning in on that and not doing it as like a hustler, but like really like yeah, she's a little over the top, but she is doing it to helpfully like get people to a better place. Whether it's for grief or just for like general like her Tia, like who's gonna be the one I marry kind of thing. So that's her little vignette of like leaning into all those little aspects.
Okay, so for my scene, it probably had to be with Leroy visiting his dad, who he's been estranged with by now. By the time he turned 20, you know, and or at least in his early 20s at this point. And it'll probably be set on during a stormy day, and well, Leroy is visiting his dad. I mean, guardian.
Why are we getting echo? Everyone else
Yeah,
heard that,
could you
right?
mute for
No?
for a moment, Stephen?
Cool. Thank you, Stephen.
Um, um,
All right, so you wanted this scene with Douglas, your dad, right? So Diana,
um,
you are playing Douglas.
Sorry, I was having tabs to move around. My question is, and sorry if you said it, I got distracted. Did you also send regular letters to your guardian, like while you were
no,
away? No.
no, he did
Okay.
not.
Ooh. Okay. Um. Okay. Let me reread over Douglas. So, is he meeting you at the docks, or are you coming back to the home to see him?
He's only coming back home to see him for a brief visit, and then he'll be back at sea again.
Okay. Um. And I'm sorry, last question. Does he know you're there? Like, since you didn't send any letters, or is it surprised that you showed up?
I think Todd would at least be surprised he showed up, but not that surprised at the same time.
Okay. Okay. So I think the scene is then he is you catch him like coming back from the fields. Um and since it's been some years since you've last seen him, obviously uh he's in his mid 50s now. He should be just overseeing things. He shouldn't really be doing any kind of like labor work or anything. But you see him like carrying like a huge bushel of apples and kind of struggling with it. And looking rather like tired, but not like a good kind of tired, like I've done a good workout kind of tired and everything. And I don't think he notices you as you're like walking up like to the house and everything until he
Douglas.
like hmm?
And then I think Leroy is just like, Douglas.
And he blinks and looks around, sees you, squints his eyes at you because obviously you've changed so much since he last saw you. and he does something very shocking, at least to you, would be he drops the bushel of apples and they kind of like scatter. And he's like, Leroy, is that really you?
Yes. Look, I'm only back for a brief visit.
But you're here. Why didn't you send word? I would have prepared, had dinner prepared, have had your room done up.
Well, I just thought, well, since you were pretty upset about me leaving and not taking over your apple farm, I decided to not even bother writing back.
That was years ago. We all have our tempers,
Well, I suppose we all do.
but a letter would have been nice to know you were still alive. I always worried about receiving one of those official ones from the Navy.
I'm, uh, well, well, I'm not gone or anything. I'm only coming back for a brief visit, and then I'll be gone.
And his face kind of shudders from like the happiness he was like seeing at surprise and seeing you. And it's like, I see. Um,
Yeah.
he nods. Well, your room is still available. Again, it might not be as fresh in there. I have someone look over it every few months, but if you'd still like to use it, you can.
Well, yeah. Thanks. Anyway, I best be going.
Off to see someone?
Mm, no, I'll just explore the town a bit.
All right. It's good to see you, my boy.
Well, it's good to see you too, Douglas.
And he just nods and looks over at the fact that he dropped the bushel of apples and he just mutters, "Oh, clumsy me," and everything.
Oh, right. Let me help you with the apples.
And yeah, he's a little surprised, but he's like, "Thank you. These hands aren't the way they used to be."
I know, I know. Thought at least I thought it might help you. It's at least the least I can do for my brief visit.
Uh, yeah, I'd appreciate that. Like like old times.
Yeah, you know, like when I used to at least steal them from your orchids.
I still have a ledger of how many you've taken.
And I already have a ledger for how many I've eaten.
And he smiles and I think he mutters like, "It's a good thing not everything has changed."
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and is there anything else you want from the scene? Or okay. Was a good scene.
Steven, not to put you on the spot or anything, but do you have any
No, I was
thoughts on a scene or
I
vignette?
was thinking
Or
about my vignette. Yeah. So I was kind of thinking he probably goes to some kind of boarding school. Um, and I'm gonna take a page. There's this great play from the late 1800s called Charlie's Aunt, and it's about these boys at a boarding school, and one of them has a crush on a girl he wants to propose to, but he needs a dowry. So he convinces one of the other boys to dress up and play his rich aunt. And it's like kind of one of the first like it's actually a very queer play, but at the time, like, it was sort of like subtly queer, like Oscar Wilde stuff. So I don't know. I feel like he probably becomes an actor. Um and does a play at school. But because it's an all boys school, he gets cast as like the old school marm or the old lady or something, and he discovers he's really good at it. Um, yeah, and he comes back. I wouldn't say a successful actor, um, but he, I guess, has a resume that he feels more confident in now.
Do you have any thoughts to where the boarding school is? Like, um, is it just like one of the bigger Canadian cities, or like, do you think it was New York and maybe he's dabbled a little bit in like Broadway type stuff, or?
Yeah, I was thinking he probably went to a boarding school, maybe just outside of New York. Um, and he probably, after boarding school, went and stayed in one of those hostels for actors. Uh, Maybe he got a very tiny bit role as like a butler or a waiter in a play, but it was Broadway, so he's a
Mhm.
Broadway actor.
Doesn't matter how small it is, he's going to be telling everyone about that. I love it.
Yeah. What's that expression? There are no small parts, only small actors or whatever. Like that. Yeah. So I think that's Fizz's little vignette. I'm gonna go mute because there's something really loud happening outside my window.
Like,
No worries. For my scene, I want it with you, Neko.
yeah.
I think like with Hawk, I'm just not sure if we wanted to do it like closer to the end of the time or in the middle, or what do you think would be interesting?
Um, I mean that's up to you. I mean, we're obviously going to be seeing the kids at the end of the passage of time once we finish this. So like,
Mhm.
if you wanted to, like, we could go in the middle and see something in the middle, or like if you do want to have like a better view of like who you are towards the end, we could do the end. It's up to you.
Okay. Uh, let's do the middle. Um,
Okay.
I
So
think
about how many years in do you think?
about uh, 5, 6 ish, like 5.5. I think, like, so a little bit
Mm.
more than half. um, and did I want to see if I actually mentioned what kind of merchant their family was. I think it was food, because I usually do food. Yeah, I think it was food if I remember correctly, because they were cooking at the Apple event.
I love that decision for you, Diana, because I too love food.
Yeah. Um, I think I would like a scene of like her bringing over like leftover uh apple empanadas while you're
Mhm.
at work. Um, Everything. It's like towards the end of like, sorry, brain is not braining correctly. Towards the end of like your typical shift or whatever would be like in the evening where there's less customers, and I think uh, and you've been getting regular letters from Leroy, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think she's doing one of her few like I want to be selfish and I want to gossip and I only know one person I can gossip with. So like she comes in and you just smell like the fresh like baked pastry of like the apples and everything and the cinnamon and you hear her like just go uh in Spanish, but I can't think of my Spanish in the moment, like going like basically like, "Hey Hawk, you available? I've got some tasty treats."
Yeah, I think Hawk like quickly makes a note of where they are in like whatever ledger, whatever they're working on, and
Mhm.
then like gets up and like opens the door. I imagine like this is like just after business hours, so like
Mhm.
the closed sign is up, but like they were inside. Um, so like I think they open the door for you and say, "Hey, Maria, what's up?"
We made too many. I mean, we never make too many. We always take too little. But I say that today we made too many, and we can't well throw them away. And she opens up the little basket, and there's like 5 or 6 empanadas in there. Um, and I thought it's been a while since I saw you. We've both been, so very busy. And well,
I think Hawk's stomach growls and like, "Oh, did I eat lunch? You know what? This fixes it. So it doesn't matter if I ate lunch today or not."
well, now you're going to have lunch, dinner, and dessert.
Exactly.
Good. Saw that the mail from the international area has arrived earlier today. Did you get a new letter?
Yeah, and I think like they pull out the letter and like quickly scan it to make sure there are no parts like you shouldn't be seeing, and
Mm.
then like possibly folds over a part that maybe is for their eyes only, and then like, here, you want to go ahead and read it yourself.
Ooh. And she noticed the part you fold over, and she like kind of like just winks at you, but she always never looks, obviously. And she reads and like, "Ah, it's so nice that he's still so devoted to you."
Yeah, I you know I'm I'm lucky. I've got great relationship, and I've got lots of stuff to keep me busy here, and I have you as my friend here as well. So
Yes, we just have to work on you not eating enough. And she'll gently like poke your side. It's like you're too skinny.
well, you see, people love to come in right as I'm about to sit down for lunch, and then when I'm helping them, and then I'm done, and then I sometimes forget to
Mm.
continue what I was doing. I probably should start using the close sign when I'm about to we'll figure it
That's
out.
a good idea. Yes, because even I have to do that when my siblings are running around and they're getting better. But and she kind of like sighs, and she does look a little bit more tired, but she's energized from seeing you and everything, and she munches on an empanada. And it's like we have to try to make time. I know I'm a hypocrite at saying that, but you know, only the two of us left.
Yep, but I think we're doing lots of important stuff here too.
We are. At least you don't you don't have Mitia's problem, and you have a boy.
What about you? Anyone you got your eye on? I know we've had some more people move in as the town has gotten more prosperous.
Oh, there's been a few pretty people, yes, and she kind of blushes at thinking a couple. But well, I'm always working like you, and they don't seem to understand that I can't just say no to mama and papa and everything. And she kind of
Aren't
shrugs.
aren't any of your siblings getting old enough that they can help out? Like you
They're
have so many of them.
spoiled. I know, you would think, but and she just kind of she it's a typical like like little disagreement me and you would have like she's like they're just spoiled, they're just not, they don't make them like me.
Well, maybe that's because no one ever tried giving them that sort of responsibility. Maybe you should try it out, and maybe it will go better than you expect. And even if it doesn't go well right away, isn't that like a chance for them to grow? Like maybe maybe you're cutting off their chances of maturing as people. I mean, I know you want to help them, but sometimes the best way to help people is to let them help themselves, right?
Mm. you, you know what, you're right. I I'll try, yes.
Good.
And maybe I'll get a chance to meet somebody interesting.
Well, if you want me to try and arrange something, I don't know if I would be good at it, but I can, try and help.
Yes, I mean, you were able to snag someone so young, and she like gently like pokes you in the shoulder, and calls you coquetta, which you may or may not understand. It's like, um, if only we could have been so lucky. Hmm. It's a shame some of the good ones left.
Did you have a thing for like Orin or Fizz?
She takes a bite of another empanada and doesn't say anything.
All right, all right. Keep your secrets.
I will.
Is
Now
there anything
keep
else you
eating.
want from the?
Yeah, she's just like, now keep eating, and I'll check on you. You better gain some weight next week.
All right, all right, all right.
You want Leroy to have a nice, healthy woman when he comes back. And with
Well,
that, but yeah, we could end it
okay.
there with her chastising,
Yeah.
yeah, and teasing.
Oh, that was teasing. Okay. I was like, wait, but Hawk's a dude.
Yeah, it's very
Hawk's
teasing.
non-binary.
Non-binary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh my god, this has been
Yeah.
way too long, my friends.
So what is
All right.
left?
So we still need a scene from Fizz, a vignette from Leroy, and then people still have letters if they want them.
I'm going to pass on letters.
I'm
Quick
not
question.
really sure what kind
It-
of scene I want to do, and I'm still thinking. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Trying
that's
to
fine.
think.
Quick question. Are you passing on letters because like you don't feel like writing one now, or like is this actually Orin didn't really keep up with anyone? What do you
Orin,
think?
I think it's kind of what I said a minute ago. Orin definitely wrote letters, but they became much more formal and, while
Okay.
friendly, and Orin very much in the letters. He writes to everyone, considers this
Yeah.
their friend group. They're just very kind of surfacey,
Yeah.
and so I don't really think there's much that would be conveyed other than that surface level stuff.
Also, Steven, you need to adjust your webcam again because we only see your eyes.
My tray's broken, so it just keeps sliding.
Steven, what if you did the scene with someone from school?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I need to do some kind of scene about my bosom enemy. Uh, so I need I kind of want to do a scene about like how he didn't get a good part or something, but he has to learn to deal with it. I don't know who I would have the scene with though.
It can just be like some random NPC that you come up with on the
Oh, it
spot
can?
that
Okay.
we never have to hear from again. Like you can make them as a connection later if you want to, but you absolutely
Okay,
do not have to.
would somebody be willing to play some sort of eccentric like theater director who teaches me that there are no small parts, only small actors?
I would.
Okay, fun.
Take it away, Crow.
I guess I'm gonna sort of come a little early before the first rehearsal. And I want to say thank you so much for casting me. It was very kind, but I don't think that I'm willing to accept the role. I'm very sorry.
And this is Albert Adams. Albert Adams is this tall, slender, eccentric man with wavy black hair, brown eyes, and freckles. And he's like, "Oh no! It's all right, my good sir, sir. And wait, you're denying the role?
Well, I just thought that maybe there'd be something better. I've only got 3 lines.
Oh, 3 lines. Ah, 3 lines. And you're rolling this?
You gave me the waiter. I
Oh,
asked if they would like anything to drink. Is the food good? And would they
oh.
like the check?
I guess Albert chuckles a little at that, but and then he's like, ah, well, my dear boy, there is something I haven't really told you about me. You
What's
see,
that?
when I was pretty younger, I got a minor role too.
And
And yeah, it was basically, I was basically Lamp O's number one. It was, it wasn't really a great role, to be honest. And
so everybody has to start somewhere.
well, well, okay, kind of. But the important thing is that there are no small roles, just minor actors, at least for the time being. But I'm pretty sure that someday you'll get a much better role. You know, when you've been around for a couple of years.
All right. I've got to earn my place, I guess.
Well, that's the spirit.
I can't promise I won't steal the show, though.
Well, that we can all agree on.
Okay. Blackout.
Right. So we just need a vignette from Leroy, and if anyone has any letters, I think I'm just going to kind of summarize the types of letters that people get sent. I think that Fizz probably gets sent like, I think like Hawk has decided that like something that you might be interested in as an actor is like hearing about like some of the most eccentric type of like interactions they've had at the store, is like, here is a character study. So I think you get a lot of those types of stories. I think that Oren, with Oren, like, because of the way that Oren's letters become less personal, it ends up being very, very business. like here's what's going on, what I'm doing for my various jobs, and then with Leroy, of course, we've got like Leroy. I think is the only one who gets a little bit more of like Hawk's inner worlds, with like, you know, what they are actually feeling about things, and like, you know, maybe even some love letter components here and there. Though I think Hawk is very, very business-like, and so like doesn't always end up with that in there. But like, I think you can tell that like Hawk really cares about you in the letters, and of course, Maria, you're in town, so you don't get anything.
I think Fizz probably sends letters to his friends, especially Hawk. And the letters are, sort of, I think they start out fun while at boarding school, but then once he starts auditioning, they're a little bit depressed and, not feeling like he's going to make it. But I think there's also occasional moments where he sees a famous actor and he just has to brag about it. And one time he sends Maria uh, an autograph he got from an actress or an actor that Maria really likes.
She has put that on her personal altar.
Hmm. Well, for Leroy, he does at least write letters. Well, for Orin, it's basically a bit more formal because, like I've learned before that Orin's letters become more adult, more formal, more businesslike. And with Fizz, it's just the usual banter. And with Hawk, it's just like, personal, dear Hawk, I love you, and I hope to see you again soon. And, well, and then he writes letters to Maria, and, and, well, now his father, because, well, yeah, Leroy is now gonna make his dad like at least be included in the letter writing as well. Which, I mean, it's like, you know, and I'm pretty sure the letters went on for like about a couple of years while he's at sea.
I think as a letter and such, for my second final one, it's more she does tarot readings, and I think like as a hint to her technically double life and everything, like one of the last few letters like she sends to everybody before they come back home is like a tarot reading, and it's like very mysterious kind of like explanations like, oh, not necessarily dour, but like for Leroy it's like watch out for the storm that's coming, kind of like mysteriousness, because you got um the tower is always the famous one to use for extreme change, um and such. And for Orin, I think it's the Hierophant, and being uh like just because things change doesn't mean they're not the same. And for Fizz, it's a lover's card, and it's like the best is yet to come kind of like message. And for Hawk, you get some more food in a basket with a tarot card in it, and I think it's um, one of the cups. I can't remember. I don't remember all my tarot information. One of the cups, but you don't get a note with it. You just get the food and the tarot card. So it's up to your interpretation.
Doc has no idea what this means. Like, am I supposed to start? Should I order some more cups for the store? Just like,
Yeah.
all right. So the last thing that we need, unless anyone has any more letters, is like a vignette from Leroy.
Oh yeah, Leroy. So I think Leroy's vignette would probably be would be like Overcast. And I think Leroy's monologue last vignette is basically Leroy has been at sea for quite a while now, and he isn't really sure if going to sea is even his life anymore. I mean, sure, he was a big fan of it as a child, but now that he's actually at sea, he doesn't know what to do. Should he even stay, or should he even, like, I don't know, be home and at least provide for his father? Frankly, he doesn't know what to do. And And at night, he's like, okay, you know what? I did try, I've tried sailing, and it did work, but, well, visiting my dad made me realize that maybe sailing isn't really the life for me as I hoped. And I should just go home and at least help him out with the farm. After all, he is getting old and he needs all the help he can get.
All right. Any final letters before we move on to the transition to adulthood?
I do think Oren would have sent a letter to all of their friends letting them know that he was moving back home for good and would like to have them over for dinner one night to say hello, to reconnect. But it's very much sent like a formal dinner invitation.
All right. So that brings us to the end of the passage of time. Our next phase is the transition to adulthood, and this is kind of like a second backstory where we decide who these characters are now that they're adults. So we've got some steps here. We may not get through all of them because we don't have that much time left, but we'll get through what we can. So the first step for this is you want to update your character age. So it's been 10 years.
Cool. Now, Neko,
and-
question. We switch back and
Yes.
forth now between, like, we'll go back to our young selves again and then come back to, no? We're sort of
Nope.
fully in adulthood now. Got it.
Yep.
Perfect.
I'm sure someone could make a hack where you do that. It's not part of the base game, though.
Excellent. That's why I was asking. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's one of
right.
those awesome things of like childhood is so much fun, but it's so short. And then we indulge in passage of time, and then yep, adults.
Great. No, that's
Damn,
awesome.
adults.
Okay. So then your next thing you're going to do is going to choose your adulthood character roles. There are 10 of these. I will post a link to a document for us here in our private channel. And so give some thought. Once you have an idea, talk it out with other people. And if once you do choose, feel free to read that description for the role because we have viewers who can't see the thing I linked to. So
Sure.
I'm not really sure if I should go the cosmopolitan since Leroy's been at sea for so long, or the pragmatist since he's gonna help his father out now that his dad is getting on in years.
I mean, I guess that's really up to what you want your story to focus on. So the pragmatist is all about someone like setting aside their dreams because there are more important things that they have to care about. So like it almost sounded like less like you were doing that and more like you were like, well, this wasn't for me, so now what? So I could also see like the seeker for Leroy, which is about like not knowing it's the very like 20 mood of like not knowing really what you want to do with your life and like feeling a little unmoored and that sort of thing. But it's up to you. So
I'm kind of torn between two. Um, I think the air makes a lot of sense, but I also could. In Crow, if you go with the Seeker, then that answers that question for me because I was also considering the Seeker as well.
I'll go with the seeker.
Okay, then I will go with air unless anyone else wants it.
yeah, and like it's completely fine to double up on these roles because we know our characters fairly well by now. So like if you really feel drawn towards the seeker, you can still take the seeker. but it is up to you.
No, I think I'll make the air work. I mean, I think that's really like Orin is very much rooted in that, like, they're the new scion of the family, and what they choose to do with it is going to be interesting.
So I think I'm going to go Striver for Hawk. The description for that is, since you were young, you have built elaborate castles in the air for yourself. Even now, you are full of dreams and ambitions, and you're willing to put in the work to make them a reality. But in doing so, you must be careful not to lose what is most important. Mini Icarus has flown too close to the sun and sacrificed health, morality, or relationships for an all too fleeting glimpse of success, which definitely sounds like something that could happen to Hawk. So
I kind of want to go with. I feel like the dandy would be fun, but I don't know. It also could be miserable. So I'm torn between that and the Cosmopolitan. But my question about the Cosmopolitan is, uh, the description is that the between trains and steamers, the world is larger and broader than ever, and you've had the good fortune to be able to spend the past few years in other parts of it, making a life for yourself in new locations. The home you knew and loved may seem backward and uncouth, or a return to the simplicity that you've missed while you were carving out your place in the world. Now the question remains: is there nothing left for you here, or everything? Can I sort of, maybe he didn't quite travel as much, but he still
yeah.
had like really worldly experiences. Like he hung out with
Mm-hmm.
famous actors. Does that work if I interpret it that
Yeah,
way?
basically
Okay.
the idea of Cosmopolitan um, is that you feel torn between like a potential new life elsewhere and kind of like the vestiges of your old life.
Okay. So it doesn't. It's
So
okay if it's not a traveler, but I still had like experiences
yeah,
that are interesting.
you've been somewhere
Okay.
else and you've built somewhat of a life for yourself there. So that's kind of the
I'm gonna
whole.
go with that. That the dandy does sound sort of fun, but it also just sounds like an unhappy experience.
Yeah. Take it from my previous player, Theodore Wheeler. He was not happy as the dandy until he reformed.
Yeah,
Diana.
I am torn between the pragmatist and the seeker. I was thinking maybe possibly the striver, but I think it's like because I do want to lean in because obviously her bosom enemies went the negative way. um, like I do want to lean in that she has sacrificed a lot, but also with the whole like her double life of like doing the cult stuff and being, I kind of want her to have those aspects of like the best way I can describe it is like a hippie like life like
Mm-hmm.
attitude as a what do you call it, as a foil for Orin,
Mm-hmm.
essentially, but also deal with the like, so that's where I'm like pragmatist is like, like she, this is a lot she dealt with and everything, and despite maybe the few small attempts, she doesn't think she can get more, but at the same time, with the seeker, she does, with everybody especially coming back, she's like, maybe there's a chance to do something more. So that's where I'm torn about, like, because I think both storylines could work. What do you think to help?
Another one, I know I'm just adding to your options here, but another one I could see for her is potentially the meddler, with kind of that spiritualist stuff and like,
Mm,
you know, being in people's business, perhaps almost as a way to like avoid thinking about her own life at times.
okay.
Um, but like,
Well,
if
here's a
that's something
question.
you're interested
Yeah, here's a question since we've done so many good societies. How
in.
like 'cause I always tend to avoid meddler in good society because it's a lot of like mechanical scheming technically because of the desires. How different is it from good society, do you think? Or is it pretty close,
I
do you
mean,
think?
I feel like all of these are like, to kind of inform the character you're playing, and then just the conditions that you can get relate to the angle you've chosen to play them with. But
Mm,
again, we know our characters pretty well at this point because we've been playing them for a while. So like I feel like there's a lot more flexibility almost than with Good Society, where you were assigned that at the beginning of the game and then you kind of have to learn who your character is.
Yeah. Because you did make a good point of like she could use the meddler as a way to avoid what sucks in her life.
Yeah, and like I could also see that because you're doing like tarot readings and stuff. Like maybe you sometimes fudge the cards a little bit to help people who you think need help.
Yeah. Okay, you've actually wow, I can't believe I'm actually gonna play a meddler after all these years.
I'm into it. I think it kind of makes sense, and it's also kind of cool seeing how Maria and Oren have kind of flipped from their childhood in a way, because they're like looking for something that the other had that they lacked. At least that's how I'm kind of viewing it.
Yeah, I can see that a lot. Yeah.
And meddling doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sometimes people need to be meddled with. Steven, if you could
Nadler
lower
certainly
your
thinks so.
camera again.
So our next step is to select a desire. So this is kind of similar to your Castle in the Air, except that it's something actionable that you can work on now that you're an adult. And we of course have desires in both the base deck and the Family and Passions deck. You can also create your own if you kind of have an idea for what you want for your character.
These cards are so gorgeous.
They are.
Okay, cool. I've kind of got some stuff if y'all want to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and just kind of like this idea of the heir. So, in the decade that has passed, Oren has grown up, for good or for ill. All that matters is the needs of the family, since they have taken upon themselves the role of patriarch in their family. Is it wrong for them to yearn for more, to shape their own destiny, to take the family in a different, unknown direction? They have realized that they have seen ghosts, and it is a shame they are all ghosts of the past, with the desire of to find out and forge a new direction for the kings, the being the family name, whatever that may be. Let it be a rebirth.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
I think that. Oh, sorry, Crow. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying. I think that it it's kind of this inverse of like this idea of wanting to speak and see spirits and realizing that like the spirits were there all along. I think Oren really, really, really grew up and really calcified in such a way to allow themselves to honor their childhood eventually. I think Oren's poised on the precipice of some like really big like personal transformation, which I'm excited about. And that's all. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Steven doesn't have the cards. I'm going to step away so I can give those to him. One moment.
All right.
I'm sitting here like, what am I? How am I supposed to play like this? I can't possibly work like this.
I can also like upload them in the. I've got them somewhere.
No, it's fine. He can get up and bring me the cards.
I'm gonna upload them anyway because probably useful reference for people.
He can't find where he put them. I can't work under these conditions.
Part of me's thinking of doing which would work with the meddler, um, bring everyone together despite the ways their lives are diverging, or hinting at um where is it? Scroll back up. Win the hand and heart of your childhood friend.
That one's one of my favorites. You got this.
I'm like, do I want to lean in on meddling into a possible relationship or and getting their heart broken or meddling into everybody and trying to make sure we all stay together again?
I think I'm going to do become a bedrock to someone you love because I think they're very invested in like um you know Leroy's journey for lack of a better term.
Mm.
And also because I think their striver tendencies could get in the way of this in a way that would be interesting.
Yeah, I can see that.
Can I go with? Oh, apparently there's more. Oh, of course, the one that he just handed me was actually like the perfect one. I think this feels pretty obvious for Fizz. I'm gonna go with make your childhood dream into a reality. Some dreams come and go, but yours has remained constant. You still dream of opening the door to the castle in the air that you cherished as a child. You will work as long as and hard. If you hear snorting, it is not me or it is this piglet right here. Apologies. Um, you will work as long and as hard as you have to. What are years of work and struggle when the end product is becoming the person you were always meant to be? Meryl Streep. During the work that was doing the work that was born in you, acting. You know with certainty that one day you will find that key. You will fulfill your dream. What year is this now?
Sometime in the 1880s.
Okay.
Okay, and it looks like Crow, you've decided on try and find something in your life that will bring fulfillment. And
Yeah.
Diana, you're going with win the hand and heart of your childhood friend.
Yep. Sorry, I keep finding losing the mute button.
All right. So our next step is update existing relationships or add new relationships. This is your relationships to the other major characters. For example, I'm no longer desk mates with Theodore because we're not in school anymore. So like I can update that relationship, or if like I think I have like best friends with Maria, I can add a relationship like that. And you can do this, you need to do this for at least one person. You can do it for multiple people. You can even do it for all the other characters, but at least one.
I'm gonna be a little. I hope you'll forgive me, Neko. Uh, I can't. I'm not sure what did it. But I think that we are now estranged. Or, or, dum dum dum. Are we former friends?
It's up to you.
I don't know. I sort of like. I was like, ooh, the total polar opposite could be interesting. It's nothing personal, I promise. um.
You're fine.
Okay, we're gonna be former friends. And I'm going to say it's because I sent you money to come to New York and see me have my 3 lines in the play, and you didn't want to come.
You don't understand. It's like a really important time at the store. We're doing inventory right now.
You know what? Having
and,
done many years of retail, that's real. That's a fucking mood.
what would it take to become friends again? I think to become friends again, it probably wouldn't happen until like my next role, and then you show up as a surprise with a dozen roses. And I think
Um,
maybe
yeah.
I also have an in-law. Oh wait, do I have a brother? I don't remember. We haven't played in so long. I can't remember if I have any siblings.
I don't think you did
I
you?
don't remember any siblings.
I don't think I did. No, never mind. That's right, because my mom died in childbirth and I was the only kid. Never mind. Forgive me.
So I think I'm actually ready to go too, unless you're still working on yours, Stephen. I just almost said Logan. Wow. Might need to go to bed after this. I kind of want to keep the partners in crime with Maria because I feel like there's a certain nostalgia with that, and I do think in communications with Maria, that's something that Oren has clung to. But I think the proximity of not being around Leroy all that long, or for a long time, for a decade, that what are we rivals about really? We don't even know each other really anymore, and I think that's a good thing because I think that lets us start fresh when we come back to adulthood. But I do think that for a time, if you're open to it, Fizz went to the same boarding school as Oren, and we have become confidants. So you probably know adult Oren far better than you knew child Oren.
Ooh, okay, I like that.
Well, I changed crushing on to courting for Leroy, former friends with Theodore as we discussed, and best friends with Maria because
Yay.
we both stayed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great that Oren still thinks that they're partners in crime with Maria because Maria's in love with the idea of Oren.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
And I
Yeah.
don't know how Oren would feel about that.
Yeah,
In a good
as
way. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, the relationships question is like you don't know. You don't know
Right.
Oren loves you. So that's great. Theo or Fizz, how has it been with you and Maria?
I was thinking we're probably old friends.
Okay, yeah, I think so.
So I think we still meet up, and I think the best part of being friends is I feel like because this kind of goes with our earlier sessions, we've always really been supportive of each other.
Hmm.
Neko, I have to say, this is really clever.
Yeah, Neko, you did a really, really great job on this game.
Thank you. I think where this game really like childhood is very fun, but I think the game really starts to shine once you realize that how childhood informs the rest of it.
Hmm.
Right.
It's very clever and it's very accessible and easy to understand, and it's beautifully designed. I mean, you should be very, very proud of it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That said, yeah, go ahead, Crow.
I was thinking Logan's right. We were rivals as children, and well, now that we're adults, what would we even be rivals about? And yeah, maybe it's best if we do start fresh as like, I don't know, friends. So maybe we should at least be business partners.
Ooh, I love that.
We have a job working at the apple farm and is planning to take over the business at this point.
And that also ties in with this idea that Oren is trying to reshape the King family, maybe trying to secure finances, make sure the rest of the family is taken care of. I love that. That's a great idea, Crow.
Yeah.
And I hate to break us up because I'm having so much fun, but let's do some stars and wishes because I do have to get ready for work, unfortunately.
Of course, of course. Stars and Wishes. I think Stars. Everyone coming back into this after a month gone. It took us a minute to get rolling, but I really think we all committed to it. Wishes. I'm really excited to see all these adult relationships in action because they're so nuanced and so complicatedly different. I'm really into it.
Yeah, I kind of echo the stars that we were able to basically jump in and reconnect with our characters. Um, I definitely stars to like specifically how we um grew up our characters, like with Oren getting more serious, with Fizz kind of being the same, but also like learning a bit, with Leroy like like while he was obviously still maintaining everything with Hawk, like that break with his guardian and then deciding maybe to mend it after the fact, I think was really good. And Nick, I always like how you play very hardworking characters in games, so I enjoy like Hawk is what the that but still has that aspect of like, yeah, I have someone I like, and and giving advice, seeing like her friend is technically struggling, um and such. So I think we did a really good job with all of that. And Wishes is drama.
Drama, 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 drama.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So my
echo the same
star.
thing. I think we really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead,
Go
Neko.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, uh, I think the same thing. I think we all jumped in really well, and my wish. I think it'd be fun for you and I, Neko, to have a little reckoning moment. That could be fun to play out.
Ooh.
My star is the way that Oren and Maria are foils to each other. It's very juicy. I like it a lot. My wish. I'm so excited for Diana's Meddler arc.
Okay, I'm gonna add a wish to that too, and a
Mhm.
star, and a bullet point, and bold italics, 12.5 font.
Mhm. Oh, do you have a star and a wish?
Well, my star is that basically the passage of time has really shown how much everyone has grown up in the 10 years that has gone by. And as for my wish, it definitely be to see the adult relationships in action, especially when it has something to do with Leroy's Apple business that his dad is planning on retiring at this point.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay, so Neko does unfortunately have to go, which is why we're having a little bit of a truncated episode, viewers. But we should be back on May 24th, barring any complications. I will communicate that to everyone. This episode will be on Twitch for a couple weeks, but it will also be uploaded to YouTube today. I'll do that right as soon as the stream ends. Don't forget that we have really cool episodes coming. We just did a really, really fun episode on burnout at the table. I think that's something we all really need to talk about. Be sure to check that out. And just excited to see y'all again in a couple weeks. Oh, and don't forget, we have on Tuesdays the last Caravan AP that is getting really, really juicy and good. It starts at 8 p.m., goes to about 11. So check that out. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Neko, for being our amazing facilitator after a little bit of a hiatus. We'll see you in a few weeks, everyone. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye. Nice to see you.